A woman abducted in the sky, in plain sight, in the middle of Manhattan. Too wild to be true? We watched the Manhattan Alien Abduction docu-series so you don't have to. Welcome to Soul Spa University, the spa for your soul. You could find hours of research on anything interesting, consolidated and translated conveniently in our podcast for you. Today, we will be discussing the Tiger King of Metaphysics, Netflix's The Manhattan Alien Abduction docu-series, and conversing on what we thought about it as UFO researchers ourselves. But first, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so we can keep this going for you. There is a donation link in the description box in case anyone feels the call to help, support, or give back in any way. You okay over there? I keep hearing sounds.
I made no sense.
Great for our souls to know that someone somewhere is listening. Otherwise, we're just echoing off each other. We invite you to check out the variety of our playlists together over the years that are timeless. You okay over there? Good? Okay. As well as our Instagram. Please find us so that we can survive. And what I can still provide you in the description box. And we are just so glad you were here. Anyway, yeah, so we watched this together. We did the research for you. You know, I remember now, Tommy, why I didn't want to cover this right when we were covering it, right now. Like, I think you know why. No, because it is literally, I just realized it really is the Tiger King of Metaphysics. Like the person in it, like now I feel censored. Like I was totally fine talking about this, and now I feel a little censored because the person in it like threatened the other person.
Yeah, but that's come on. That was a nonsense threat.
Oh my God. Anyway, what was it? Like 3 or 4 episodes?
Three.
Okay. So we watched this so you guys don't have to.
I
Listen,
mean, you can watch it. It's fun. It's a fun watch. So
it's definitely, yeah, it's interesting. It's we're not going to say we're full believers. I'm smart enough to know we don't know everything though, so you never know.
yeah.
But we're going to tell you our instincts at the end. Basically, it's a summary of this. Um, I guess we shouldn't have added our opinion until we summarized it. Let's give it a fair shot. So this lady, um,
Linda.
Linda,
Linda. Wait. Hold on. Italian last names sometimes elude me. Napolitano. Napolitano. Napolitano.
if I saw,
Napolitano.
all right, I don't know. I have to see it. Anyway, the point is,
Linda.
okay. So the point is that she, I guess, gets abducted in the middle of Manhattan, and everybody sees it. Like somehow, I think there's a blackout, and everybody stopped in traffic, and everybody happens to see that this lady is like floating in the sky below a ship in a white nightgown.
Yeah.
That's very conveniently contrasting the sky. So I'm not one to say that didn't happen, but it's not the details that make me think it didn't. It's what I'll tell you at the end. I'm starting to wonder. But basically, so basically, what happens is there's a very dedicated UFO researcher who I guess puts people under hypnosis. I think he wasn't a believer at first. He was like a psychologist, right? That kept putting people under hypnosis and eventually was like, wait, whoa, this is real. This phenomena are real. And he wrote books. I
Yeah.
forgot
What'd you forget?
I forgot his name. Do you have his name?
Yeah, his name is Bud Hopkins.
Okay, Bud Hopkins. There you go. And he was uh married to the other lady, right?
Not yet. Like he married her
Later.
after a while,
Okay.
but this is
He
before Linda.
he took her in, and she was like a documentary filmmaker, so they really worked well together. And
Mhm.
this lady, do you remember her name?
Her name is Carol Rainey.
Okay, so Carol starts like filming everything because she thinks she's making like the best documentary ever after all this research. Um, and then later has her own suspicions. So yeah, basically this lady, Linda, keeps calling Bud regarding her experience. And Bud's like, this is great. It's just we need witnesses. And then it's like the next day, yeah, he's like, oh, like 25 witnesses came through, right?
38.
Oh, I thought it was 20 something. So you guys watch it, it's free, you let us know. But anyway, and then and like all these witnesses came through. And I'm thinking, okay, like no offense, like I'm half Italian, so I could say this, and I kind of grew up full Italian. So I'm just saying Italian people know each other. Mm, not that hard to get her like 25 witnesses. Just saying. Okay. So like did all their last names end in O? I'm just saying. Okay. So also 9 times out of 10, they're good with people. So even if they're not Italian, they'll like be friends with someone that wants to be, or something, or something. Okay. So anyway, the point is, all these witnesses came through, and then he'd be like, "We just need this," and like somehow that would happen. And um, Carol was really good with Linda at first, and Linda was really good with Carol. But it was funny because whenever you saw the footage, it was like Linda would call and Bud would be like, oh, Linda, oh, oh, please come over. And the next scene is like, Linda like dining with Bud with like wine. And they're like,
Like holding her hand. He's like,
it's like late
Linda.
tramp, and there's like poor Carol, like the wife, like filming it. And eventually they're like, what's with you? Like,
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird.
well, it was interesting to say the least. Like poor Carol. I hope she was in like a threesome with them at least, because otherwise she was very excluded. Poor thing. Mm. So anyway, so so yeah, I mean, hey, if Linda's experience were legit, this is amazing. She claims so first it was like Linda's like, I had this experience in the forest where I just woke up in the forest and my nose was bleeding, and it was like, that's cool. And when she read Bud's books, it was like, oh, that's what happened to me. Okay, cool, get it. Cool, get it. Then I guess she built some sort of like repertoire or something with him, and one day just gets pulled out of her apartment in the middle of the night and like under a spaceship. Um, where was her husband with
I,
that?
was that before or after they met? I can't remember that part.
After, for sure. After her and Bud met, for sure.
Oh yeah. You're right. You're right.
Because she only initially went with him to him about the forest thing that happened apparently years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that all happened. And then the stories just got like a little crazier and crazier, which if we told you, which we will, you're going to be like, yeah, that coincides with like things you guys report on. I don't know. Just watch it and judge for yourself. Um, I see. I
Well,
want to provide my honest opinion, but I
here's
don't
the hold
know.
on, hold on. Here's the background. Linda was also, when she in her youth, was a bit of a celebrity. She was a singer who had like records out, and she was like with celebrities and all that stuff. But she decided to get married, have children, and that all went away. Um, After the thing with, uh, she said she was bleeding from the nose in the forest. She started getting like in touch with Bud and all that stuff, reading his books and all that stuff. Um, Then the thing that she apparently got like abducted during this all happened in 1989. During the 1989, there was a blackout in Manhattan, and all these people said that they saw her lifting up into the air. Um, she then, from that, Bud started taking her on tours to introduce her to people and speak to the public about what's happening, speak to uh, these conventions of what's happening, and little by little, she was getting a bit of fame and all that stuff because she would also be on shows. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
anyway,
Yeah. Then it's like, oh, remember? Okay, so then she says that she got interrogated by two people
oh yeah, Rich and Dan.
or something. Yeah, it was Rich and Dan, which I'm like, Dick and Dan. I don't know. And she never provided last names. Somehow she had an audio of them.
Oh, that's later on. Yeah,
Huh?
that was later on. That's so bad.
Oh no, that was really bad. But even like in the beginning, I think she had an audio, and then he was like, "Oh, I just need some sort of proof." And then like Dick and Dan like wrote him, signed it, Dick and Dan. Okay, and he's like Dick and Dan, right? And then and then Carol doesn't even know. This is like the wife. Like, is her husband in on it? Is he falling for it? Like, what's going on? Then it's like Linda gets abducted by Dick and Dan years later, just abducted, gets a clear audio of it.
Yeah,
Um,
she was wearing a wire.
wearing a wire and
Yeah,
like happens to be wearing a wire and like because I guess she convinced Bud that she was scared she needs to be wearing a wire. So this is like cute cosplay. But Bud's married and and I don't really know what's going on anymore. And who's in on it and who's not, and I don't understand. So and then it's like they're across the street. Dick and Dan's are across the street in the middle of New York, not crowded.
well,
Um,
even it's like at Chelsea Pier. It's like, come on, come, come on.
what's
This is
that?
the way filled with people.
Is that
The
like
pier,
crowd?
yeah, it's very crowded all the time. There's a lot of people there.
Yeah. So then they somehow get her in a car without her will, which is what the audio is, illustrating. Okay. And then very theatrical thing where God, it just gets so bad. Oh God, I feel so bad about it. Oh God. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Okay. Even before we continue, and I don't God, I don't want to say because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I look at people's eyes and from the moment I saw her eyes, if someone asked me my honest opinion, I don't think it was legit anyway, even before it got to this point. But I don't want to say, I don't know for sure, and I don't want to judge it. But that. Okay. So anyway, okay. So basically, yeah, it got so bad, and Tommy's gonna chime in on this, but basically she's apparently in the back of a car, and you know, they're like, what, you got a wire on you, and she's like, it's not on. They're like, oh, okay, cool. And then like I just want to mention the next part. So stupid.
Yeah. So that was Richard, the one that said, "Hey," almost immediately, "Hey, you have a wire on you," and she's like, "It's not on." And then he's like, "Okay." Uh, and then, mind you, they're in a car driving, and Dan, who is driving in the front, and she's in the back with Richard, says very clearly into the mic, "Oh, wait, they want to see her feet." And he goes, "Let me see your feet." And then it's like the worst acting in the world. He goes, "Half breed." It's like, what the? Then she's like, then she's like, mind you, these two guys are supposed to be like Secret Service, not Secret Service, but like some kind of police that should have guns on them. So she's like, I got a gun in my purse. And then you hear in the freaking the audio of the thing, like movie scene cars screeching to a halt. And then she's like, then I got out and ran away and called Bud instead of the cops. Then you flash the Bud picking up the phone because Carol's recording literally everything. And he's like, oh, Linda, oh my, oh, Linda, come here, Linda, come to me, Linda, oh, Linda.
And that's what he did every time she called. And like,
Everything.
okay, honestly, if this happened, I understand her calling Bud instead of Popo because these people are supposedly part of it, right? Or something. So, and here's the thing. It's weird enough to be true because who wants to be that cringeworthy to freaking do all this and stage all of it? Although back then, maybe it was believable. But
She
like,
was a stay-at-home mom, bored out of her mind,
yeah, yeah.
who used to have a semblance of fame and then nothing.
Mm.
So yeah. Oh, it gets worse too. It gets
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to how it gets worse. But like it's also like what he just imitated, that's how he was every time. That's how Bud was every time Linda called. It was very romantic. And poor Carol had to freaking tape everything. I'm like, is she taping them? It's like this close to porn.
Carol is a creep too. She's like, no, I'm just gonna see you on my camera. They're like, Carol, come and eat. Nope.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh, you gotta see Carol. She's something.
okay. Carol wasn't. Listen, Carol is fine. Okay, Carol is fine.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you. Because Carol, if you look at the documentary, is fine, but Carol, like everybody, ages, and that is fine. Okay,
Poorly.
huh?
Poorly.
Listen, we should all embrace it, really. Okay, so okay, wait. Anyway, yeah, poor Carol. Yeah, it was really funny because on the 39th scene of them like Lady and the Tramping each other with their wine and serenading each other, and then eventually they're like they hear like and like they look over and it's like Carol taping them still because that's happening, and they're like, "Come eat," and then the camera's just like. Oh man. All right. Anyway, we don't know. Maybe it's weird enough to be true. But it was like the filmography or like the audio,
Yeah.
like Roger Rabbit.
So yeah, there's much more. Um,
Yeah, that's
some
really.
of the witnesses, a lot of them are like were because Carol started being like, wait a minute, because he was writing a book about this. Bud was writing a book about this. So that's when Carol started to try to understand. She's like, wait, is there a possibility my husband is in on this as a fraud so that he can sell this book?
Mm,
A lot of the witnesses like really were vague on their things, and most of them didn't even show up in person.
mm,
They were on the phone. She said like two or three of them sounded exactly like Linda.
mhm,
Um, then all of a sudden, Linda's whole family gets abducted somehow. Or not abducted, but they're all sitting in their freaking living room with their bloody noses. And Linda's husband now is like, oh, this guy did not give a crap about this. His acting was the worst in the world because he's like, because he's an older man. He's like, I guess it now it happened to all of us. Oh man! And then
well,
they
no, I
cut to
think
the
he's
next scene.
really real, and they just cut parts to make it look like he's not completely disagreeing. Like he's like, it happened to all of us now, and they're
It
like,
sounded like something like you tell an old man to say this, your old grandpa, and he's like, okay, and he says it real quick, and that's it. Then all of a sudden, her son gets abducted, uh, like, and she can't move or anything, and this kid's all messed up. And so she goes to Bud again. Bud's like, oh, my Linda. Oh, no, Linda, bring your son. Oh, God, Linda. Oh, Linda, Linda. Oh, let me hold your hand and your son's hand in my lap. It's not weird. Keep filming, Carol. Oh, Linda. Oh, 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 Linda. Linda. Oh, my God, Linda. It
It's
was
kind of
very
romantic.
funny.
I mean, geez, guy, if I was in the 80s and some guy every time I called was like, oh, come over, have some wine and food, you poor little thing. I'd be like, okay. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, it gets more and more.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
apparently Richard and Dan were private security for what was he? Some kind of ambassador to Egypt or something like that. A United States ambassador to some other country.
You could make up names. It was that.
And so they were like, "Oh, let's get a film of that guy and see if you can recognize them." And she's like, "Yep, that's him right there. That's Richard. Yep, that's him." Anyway, so Richard and Dan started writing notes to Bud, apparently. And then for some strange reason, um, the ambassador started writing notes to Bud too, saying he was also in the car because Richard and Dan were in their car and they saw the night that Linda was abducted.
Oh, that's right. They used some famous guy's name. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so this guy was like, "I was in the car too. We were just hanging out in an alleyway, whatevs." So
Oh, yeah. They're like royal ambassador of Egypt or something. Like,
yeah, it was weird.
dang, dude.
So
Okay,
anyway,
yeah.
he started writing to Bud too, except he was writing it with his like stamp of like office, not stamp of office, but like basically like how you get a stamp with your signature on it, just on it. And Linda was like, "This is weird." I'm sorry, Carol was like, "This is weird. This doesn't make sense." And so she brought the note that the guy sent to someone, and
Mhm.
it matched. Oh no, it matched like something that you could find on the internet perfectly.
Mm.
So that was odd. But then the other thing was she had him match the lettering to a note that Linda wrote. And like a bunch of the letters were exactly the same, written exactly the same. There's
I,
H's that were
yeah, I think either her or Netflix got like a handwriting specialist or something, a forensic
no,
something.
she did. She did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like it the signatures, yeah, the
Yeah.
writing,
We're
the
almost exactly the same.
which yeah.
Um, so it started like building up and all this stuff. And then I guess it just flashed to the future. And Bud's dead. Uh
They never covered that.
yeah, it just happened. She was on Ricky Lake, which, if anybody remembers Ricky Lake, she was on Ricky Lake, but behind the freaking curtain, she's like, "I don't want people to know me because, this and that, aliens, these things
Linda?
happen." Yeah, remember?
Okay, here's what I remember. Her kid when he was little was like, this happened. What? Uh-huh. Okay, this, yeah, this.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then like later it's like just a shadow of him. He's like, I don't want to be seen, no. That. And like he's like, you guys make sure I'm anonymous, right? Like even though my last name's out there and my first like
They
we're
specifically showed the guy as a kid, said his first and last name, and then for some reason blurred him out as an adult.
okay,
Like,
yeah. Okay. So then then he's like, oh, okay. So basically I had dreams when I was younger and my mom would tell me they were real.
yep. And so he's like, "Now I'm fucked up." Oh, sorry, guys.
So basically, it's like his dialect, like his energy is trying to be like, I agree with my mom,
Yeah.
to like protect her in a way, because you don't want to go against your mom. But his words are like, no, right? So yeah, it's interesting.
Right.
I get it. Now she apparently she has another son who just it's just not mentioned because he
Yeah,
never
yeah,
never
they didn't
mentioned
bother with that one.
that.
So yeah, it's strange. It just kind of went away, and then like they flashed the future of them like telling, right, like telling a video note to each other,
Yeah.
and Linda's like, I'm sorry, Carol's like, I know you weren't this and that. I don't believe you. You're a liar. This and that. I'm sorry. One thing that we didn't mention was during hypnosis, they showed all these people that were abducted under hypnosis, and they all have the same kind of rhythm of how they speak when they're in hypnosis.
Mm.
And meanwhile, they flash to Linda. Linda's like, so aliens came to my house. They kind of just like they were like, "You're coming with us, Linda." And then we're like, "Oh no, okay." And so I got like on a spaceship, and I was like, "Oh no, no, my name is Linda."
Okay, but
And
what you have to say is you have to say everybody else that was on hypnosis that Carol noticed is like speaking in a very different way, almost like they're drunk, like they're slurring their
yeah,
words, like in a zone. So they're like, yeah, like they're like, and then like almost like you're sleep talking, I guess. And then when it came to Linda, she's very like concise and clear, like Tommy
yeah,
said.
yeah. All these people were like crying or like stopping and like, "No, no." And Linda's like, Then I was like floating. I got up to the spaceship, and I was like, "You guys have cannolis or anything?"
No.
They were like, "No, we don't have cannolis." And I'm like, "All right, you don't have cannolis." Um,
But is it half off then? Because if it's not half off, I want off. No,
yeah, no, no. It's almost the season. What is it? The holiday of the seven fishes, or whatever the hell we do.
hey, stop.
And
Half of
and,
that.
and if we're up here, can we just fly over to one of the boots, over the boot? Because that's where my family was born. I never actually went.
And
So
what?
that's what happened. That's what happened. Then they did just drop me, and my nose kind of like,
And then what's his name? What's his name? What's Bob? Is his name Bob Hopkins or something? What's his name? Bub.
but
Oh, Linda. Oh, Linda. Have all this wine. Here's an IV. Let's have it connected into everywhere.
yeah.
Carol, if you want to film, it's up to you because this is happening.
And Carol's like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
No, Carol's like filming it.
Yeah. Carol's like, I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter at all. I'm
He's
not bitter
he's
at all.
getting close to the parts.
Yeah. She's like, no, no, no.
Okay, here's what I feel
You
bad
got
about.
me.
Here's what I feel bad about. So then it keeps flashing to what Tommy said. There's notes going back between the two of them, video notes of them now, Carol and Linda. And basically, Linda's like, you're nothing but an ex-wife. First of all, is Carol an ex-wife? We never got to that. Did they get
Yeah.
divorced?
We forgot to mention the part where Carol basically put out this thing saying that she believes that Bud was complicit in this and it was a whole scam and everything. And he was lying as well.
Oh,
And I guess that's what broke them up. They got divorced from it.
oh, are you sure? Is that what really happened? Did they get divorced from it?
I think because they said that happened, they didn't put a timeline on it. But yeah, I mean, there's a reason there should be an X. Like that would really freaking that'd be terrible if you have a life's work and your wife is like, no, you're lying. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell everybody you're lying.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel so bad. I think Carol tried to continue the documentary, but made it into something else, right? And then he was pissed about that, maybe. I
No,
mean,
no, she just went online and made like a uh like a blog or some crap like that, and it kind of went everywhere. And she sent it to other people in all these industries saying that he was a liar and all this stuff. And then he was like, "All right, divorce time."
oh, she did that before they got divorced. Shit.
I think they don't tell you, which is terrible, but whatever. Anyway, keep
I
going.
feel bad because she was speaking very highly of him until that point, you know.
Hmm.
Um, anyway, I just feel bad because what's her name's like, you're just nothing but an angry ex-wife. And then like poor Carol's just there like, I just feel so bad.
No, because Carol's like, I know the truth. I know the truth. I know about you. And then the best part was Linda. She was like, don't talk that way about me and my family. If you talk that way about me and my family, you're not gonna see it coming. You know what I mean? You know what I mean about that specific sentence?
Oh my God. It's like you're getting filmed. You're getting freaking filmed. Why do that? If you're ever saying that, why there? Like, and then instead of being like, dude, this chick just got filmed saying it, like Linda's like all, I mean, not Linda, Carol's all like scared. She's visibly scared in the seat. She's
Oh, yeah.
like it's
Here's the thing,
like,
people.
oh, you're gonna be fine. First of all, we don't know if she's gonna be fine. Is she still alive?
Here's the thing. People, when you watch this,
Lady did muster up 23 witnesses or more in a day. I'm just
uh, could you settle the debate and put it in a comment? I believe I said that Carol looks like a turtle without a shell. And what did you say she looked like?
okay. I don't want to say she looks like a Muppet, like one of those Muppets that like yep, 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 because I love her. So I don't want to say that.
Beaker. That would be Beaker.
No, there was two that was like yep, 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 yep.
Oh,
Hey,
the alien ones.
here's the thing, buddy. Okay, Tommy, if you don't let me get injections, that's what I'm gonna look like. So embrace it.
So that's that, except for one thing that I learned today. So Linda has filed for a lawsuit against Netflix because she believes that she was misrepresented and they made her out to look like a nut job
Hmm.
and a liar.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, I would imagine that's a big club of people suing Netflix.
I mean, she basically tried to tell someone she's about to get murdered on the documentary. I mean, was she like afterwards? Oh, oh, edit that out. You guys want some sauce, gravy, whatever we call it?
Listen, if that was it, I get it. But it wasn't it. It was they did a lot of examples that made her look like that. So I don't know. We don't know what's real and what's not. I feel bad for Carol too. And yeah, I feel a little bad for Linda.
She was a creep during the whole thing. The reenactments really freaked me out. When she's sitting on her bed in her pajamas, she's like, "If they want you, they won't get you."
Okay, but maybe she's being real. I don't know. Well, so oh, no, they got him. Linda was right. See, we should all listen to Linda. Anyone named Linda's
They
right.
gonna get you.
Oh my God. Then he was like Carol. All right. Well, anyway, we got more to get to. So it was a great documentary.
It was
Here,
fun.
here's what you guys got
Wasn't
to watch it so everybody gets money from it because we want to support Linda and Carol. Okay. And Netflix. Um, make some popcorn beforehand, hopefully good popcorn. I didn't make good popcorn that night.
it was fun.
Have some wine or non-alcoholic wine wherever you're at, or coffee, whatever. Water's always good. Well, never mind. You could actually overhydrate on that, I've noticed. All right. Anyway, point being, point being, um, I don't know where I'm getting at with this. Is there any more to add? I pray for everybody in this documentary.
It's a fun watch. Go ahead and watch it. It's called, what the hell was the damn thing called?
Alien Abduction, Manhattan Alien Abduction.
Yeah, it's very fun to watch, guys. Enjoy it. But watch it if you could either watch it seriously or you can watch it as fun. It works. Highly
Yeah,
recommend.
yeah, it's good. It's good. It's like, what is it fair to say it's a Tiger King of the UFO docu-series world?
You have not watched Tiger. You have to watch Tiger King. You have to watch it. It's so much fun.
Okay, okay, that's our next thing then.
I've been trying. It's so good. It's so
Okay.
good.
Well, you know, you started me on episode 16, so I was a little confused here.
That was accidental. Let me come on. And
Yeah.
there's a season 2 apparently, and there's a spin-off show that's like funny about it. It's hilarious.
Well, if
We got
I want to watch it, I watch Real, so I rewatch this. All right, so it's not real. What am I doing, dude?
wait. What? Yeah, Tiger King is real.
All
He's
right,
in
then.
jail.
All right, let's watch. Is he in jail because of the documentary or what?
Well, you have to watch.
Okay, so we will watch. I didn't get Tiger King bangs for nothing. Okay,
That doesn't make sense. You have to watch the damn.
I don't
You have
know.
to say Tiger King. You can't just say
What?
Tiger King and assume what the hell is right. You have no idea what's happening.
Okay, I don't really know. I just know there's carols in both. All right, all right, guys. So if you got anything from this night, feel free to donate. There's a link in the description. Find us on Instagram. If you don't subscribe, you don't like, and all these things, you're never going to find us again because we're very small. Also, uh, that's it. Oh, if you want any of my services, they're listed in the description box. Tommy and I have a lot more to get to. Tommy, last comments. Anything?
If they want you, they gonna get you.
Pretty soon there will be an aliendate.com and we're all going to want them to want us. Let's be real about that. Oh, he got the wish. He got transported. He's having a great time in that ship right now, I'll tell you that. All right, guys. I love you. And until next time, keep it real.